Hey everybody. So this video is going to be more on the lines of keeping your traps up, dyeing them, waxing them, stuff like that. And for those of you who already know, you don't have to watch, but I'd appreciate the views. Appreciate you watching. You may have some insight from me to give me. But anyway, because I'm not a professional, and I might not do it the way you do, and your way may be better than mine. But anyway, we're going to dye some traps, wax them, just get them all ready to go, because right here, South Georgia, it's been raining like crazy, and I don't have a whole lot to do. Wind's been blowing, good Lord, 20-mile-an-hour gusts. Can't get out there and fish. Well, I mean, I can, but I'd be fishing out of a sailboat pretty much, the way the wind's going. But anyway, so for those that don't know or looking into getting into trapping or something like that, maybe this will help you. And for those that, necessarily have already done all this stuff and know all this stuff, it might not help you. But you may be able to help me. You may be giving me some insight to something that, I might need to do that may help me better. But anyway. So anyway, that's what's going on today. Should be a little short video. I'm not sure exactly, but it shouldn't be too long. So just bear with me. And don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, let's do a little tutorial on getting your traps prepared to put in the ground. Get the scent off of them, get them weatherized, and what I use anyway. And then we'll go through the whole process. Be a short little video, but we'll start about now. Okay, we're going to go over a few things that I use. So right here is my wax, odorless trap wax. That's what you do after you dye the traps. Now, what I do to dye the traps: longwood trap dye. Tells you exactly what you need to know. Put this in boiling water, let it heat up and mix in real good, and then you'll see. So this right here is reusable over and over, and you just keep adding when you start getting low. And this is my pot right here, and as you can see, that's what's left over after one or two, I don't even know, there may be 3 cleaning of my traps. I might have added 1 to it, but anyway, so that's that. And then I've got traps that are definitely going to have to be redone. And then this is my water. I just used an old turkey fryer, and that's what I use to heat my dye up. There's my water. You can tell the residue around it from the dye. So all right, let's get going with it. All right, so we'll go ahead and light a fire on this and get the water up to temp, get it boiling. We'll go ahead and mix my dye. So this one bag does 1 to 2 dozen large traps, 2 to 3 dozen small. So I'm gonna dump 1 in right now, and I may add another one later, because I've got quite a few of the bigger size traps and a lot of the small ones. So we'll just see. You just kind of figure out what you need, and then just kind of go from there. But we'll go ahead and get the water lit, get it boiling, and then I'll just come back and show you process after process. It'll be real simple. You got to hang them up, let them dry a little bit. And actually what I do is, after I get finished dyeing, I hang them up. I got screws all up in my rafters that I just hang them up from. And then they're drip drying a little bit as I get my wax heated up and ready for the traps to be dipped in. So we'll go from there, and I'll cut back on when the dye and all gets up to temperature and I start putting them in. All right, so we're fixing to Put the traps in. The dye is up to a boil. I turned it down some. I'll turn it back up once I get them in there. But anyway, let's get some of these in the bucket. All right, one other thing that I was going to tell you before we go to boil is when I pull my traps, a lot of times I don't get the pine straw, I don't get the leaves, and maybe anything else that might be in the traps. I usually just pull them, put them in my bucket, and come to the house. But you do want to get your traps clean, because you don't want to put all that stuff in your water. I mean, it just makes your water nastier than it's going to be. So usually I just carry a piece of wood, and then I'll just pull the trap. See, like, you can't, I mean, you can pull the pine straw, but there's still going to be stuff in there. So I just set it down on the ground, open it up, I stick my piece of wood in there, let it close down, pick it up like that, so you don't have to worry about getting your fingers caught. If you get that done, you're going to get them done regardless if you trap much. So, and then got all of it out, pull the wood out, and then I separate them. I got ones with 4 springs on it, and I've got a lot with 2 springs. So normally what I do is I put my 4 springs in one bucket, 2 springs in another, so I keep them separate, because I like to use my 4 springs on the coyotes. Seems to just clamp a lot faster, but to each their own. That's the way I do it. And then I just put it over there with the ones to be cleaned. Then we go. So these are the ones I got set out. And so you just set them in there carefully. Otherwise you're going to be wearing a lot of this stuff. And I don't think whoever does the laundry will appreciate it. I know my wife wouldn't. And I put as many in there as I can get that's underneath the water. So once I see that they're getting close to hitting the top, like that right there, I've got a stick here, and this is what I use, an old painter stick. I just took the roller off of it, because you can stick that in there and move them, and it's also great for picking them back out. So let's get a I think that's about all we're going to be able to do. Well, all right, let me get the ones hanging down. This is my second batch here. These are my four coils, springs. So they're gonna go in the white bucket. So we'll get them down. We'll take the lid off this thing. Get them hung. And as you notice, I have my gloves on. You just don't want any transfer of scent. Oh, here. All right. As you can tell also, I'm using a little wrench. I can get them out with this pretty good. They just slide up and down too much, so I swapped around. Put them on this and then hook them in this. That would have been a splatter. A little bit easier this way, that is for dang sure. Alright, that's 3. No sense you watching me do the whole daggum thing. Save you from that misery. I'll get these home, and I've only got just a couple of traps, but I'm not even gonna worry about them because it's not worth heating that back up. And if you notice this trailer that I'm using, you see that spool up there? I'll show you what that spool is in a little bit. That is my shooting trailer, so I'll give you a little sample of what I mean. So that's it right there, and I just cut it out to make my seats. So that's it right there. So I just put it on the trailer, hook it up, carry it where I want to go. And I've got a pretty good table to shoot from, and because you ever been shooting, and sometimes it's just a pain in the butt when you don't go to a shooting range and you just don't have a decent table to get on. So anyway, so that's my shooting trailer. All right, so we'll discuss a little bit. So you just don't think you're gonna order a trap and it'll all be set up unless you pay extra to have it set up. So usually all you get with a trap is this right here, just that section right there. Now, I've got a spring, so when they pull, it gives. This helps from messing up the hide. And then what I've got connected to that with a swivel right here, and then my anchor. What this does, it's got dirt in it. What this does is you got a shaft that goes in here, and then you hammer it down into the ground. So when it goes into the ground, it goes in like this, but when you pull this chain, it pivots. So it locks it in so it can't come up. So when you order a trap, just remember, you need to have it all put together, or either buy the tools and put it together at the house, because I've got the tools to put these together. And you'll have to adjust all the pans and all to be as sensitive as you like them, or not as sensitive. So that's just another little tidbit right there. And you can see I got mine tagged, because you're required to have your traps tagged. So, but that's just a little bit. And I've got all different kinds of traps, whether it be Briggers or Victors or all kinds. I'm not partial to, well, I may be partial to one, but I'm not advertising for them. So, but anyway, that's how I rig mine up. And as you can tell, I use offsets. So when something does get in there, and they're rounded edges right in there. So when you get caught, you're not going to just tear the hide up, break a bone or whatever, because coyotes are sold alive, and they do not want to be damaged when they come to look at them. So anyway, that's just a little bit of tidbit information I thought I'd share with you while we're boiling some more traps.